importance, so I request everyone to mask up and stay masked throughout the proceedings. Please maintain social distance. Kindly put your mobiles on silent. World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not just an absence of disease and infirmity. Unfortunately, mental health problems, including mood disorders, are steadily increasing the world over. The video will give us a brief overview of ROSHNI's initiatives in this area. Can we have the video, Aditya?
When darkness pervades, a spark can ignite a light to brighten all things around. Such was a spark which ignited the field of mental health in Hyderabad 25 years ago. A candle of hope, ROSHNI, was lit by like-minded friends with the support of Dr. Late Anji Reddy. A helpline for the depressed and suicidal, extending free, confidential emotional support manned by caring, empathetic volunteers who provide a listening ear to a mind clouded with fear, pain, and suffering. A cry, I can't go on with life. A cry of anguish. An assurance that ROSHNI is by you in your hour of distress, in your time of loneliness, in your time of failure. ROSHNI is sounding board, a shore where you can anchor. Suicide is not a wish to die, but a cry for help. At a time when the pandemic was peaking, ROSHNI saw a surge of calls related to fear, bereavement, financial loss, sexual abuse, and depression. A lifeline in times of distress. In these many years, our helpline has received more than 198,000 calls. A few years from then, ROSHNI Counseling Center was started to make available all mental health services under one roof. When a person walks in, he does not have to choose between a psychiatrist, a counselor, a psychologist, or a counseling psychologist. We direct them to the required professionals, depending on their need, and then add on services wherever required. Our patients range from small children to older adults. Children come with behavioral issues, school refusal, adolescents with career confusion or drug abuse. The young adults are saddled with either premarital or postmarital problems. The middle-aged group come up with psychiatric illnesses like depression and anxiety. And the senior citizens, usually with problems like dementia and isolation. While some clients require counseling, few others require a diagnostic psychometry or assessment and then therapy. Few others need only medication. This facilitates easy access to treatment under one roof, a continuity much needed. Patients can avail of free consultation, counseling, and medication through our free mental health camps at Begumpet and Ramakrishna Mutt. In all, we have treated 33,400 patients and continue our endeavor to serve the underprivileged. With a view to fill the vacuum in the lives of senior silvers and acknowledge that life is not a matter of milestones, but of moments. We have conceptualized a recreation center for seniors where fun and laughter make a senior's day. ROSHNI Palliative Care. In collaboration with Pain Relief and Palliative Care, ROSHNI offers Life at Your Doorstep, a program that addresses the physical, emotional, spiritual, and social concerns of cancer patients and terminally ill people at their homes. Psychiatry at Your Doorstep. Our mission is to create awareness on the importance of mental wellness to make treatment accessible, acceptable, and free for those living in the slums of Twin Cities has found support in none other than Miss Mahima Datla from Datla Foundation, a dream which we have cherished to accomplish. Not too long ago from now, you could spot the ROSHNI Trust's van furrowing into the interiors, a van equipped with medicines, a psychiatrist, counselor, staff and medication, traveling to these areas, bringing psychiatry at your doorstep. When initiated, this project would probably be one of its kind in India. Recovery is not one and done. It is a lifelong journey that takes place one day, one step at a time. Let us join hands to make this a fruitful one.
Mental health is a health issue. It's not something to be ashamed of. Talk to people, reach out, it will help.
We're human beings, we are meant to depend on each other, lean on each other, talk to each other, listen to each other, and help each other. We're not meant to be little isolated islands. So please, reach out. There's always somebody.
The pandemic and the lockdown, I heard from a lot of my friends that has a sudden surge in people who have been feeling depressed and lonely and not being able to find a reason to get up in the morning. Seek help.
Mental health is something that we should talk about. It's not a taboo to feel sad. It's not bad to feel depressed. The most important thing is to share, and it's amazing how light you will feel when you actually do share, and how good it will make you feel. Share with your family, share with your siblings, share with your friends, and if you need professional help, then go and get that professional help. Reach out. There is always someone.
Captaincy and leadership, not only in my sport, but in any field, does involve high pressure and expectation from different lens. There will always be challenging times when you're on the field. Mental health is one which has been mistaken as a social stigma and taboo. Do not hesitate to reach out and express your emotions to close ones. Please reach out. There is always somebody.
మానసిక సమస్యల ఆరోగ్యం గురించి సమాజం అంతగా పట్టించుకోవడం లేదు. హేళన చేస్తారనే భయంతో మనకి మానసిక సమస్య ఉన్నా ఎవరితో చెప్పుకోకుండా దాచిపెడుతున్నాం. మానసిక సమస్యల పరిష్కారం కోసం రోషినిని సంప్రదించండి.
The biggest barriers that stands between a person with mental illness and the help that he needs is stigma. What is the stigma? Stigma is nothing but the fear of what people will say, of what the society will think. But who is the society? Isn't it you and me? It is for us to break these barriers of stigma.
We all need to come out and seek for help, whether it's from a counselor or a therapist, psychologist or a psychiatrist, depending on whom you need at that time. Why is reaching out for mental health issue a taboo? Let's break this taboo and reach out for help.
What started as a vision by a handful of volunteers has been a long, fruitful journey providing succor to innumerable people who are suffering from various mental health issues. I want to thank Aditya Pamnani, who has made this film, from AP Films. Thank you so much, Aditya. We are honored to have amongst us this evening Ms. Mahima Datla, the Managing Director and CEO of Biological E Limited, a biopharma company that manufactures vaccines. May I request Shashi, trustee and founder of ROSHNI, to escort Ms. Datla to the dais. Thank you so much for supporting this initiative, Ms. Datla. As head of the family's pharma business, Ms. Mahima has worked against all odds to take it to new heights, making it one of the top manufacturers of vaccines, including the COVID vaccine in 2020, in collaboration with Johnson & Johnson. When she took up business administration, Ms. Mahima's intention was to figure out how she could contribute to society. As global providers of vaccines at Biological E, it gives her immense satisfaction that they are able to make vaccines cost-effective and available to the poorest. Ms. Datla believes that her work enriches her life, providing challenges and opportunities for learning and growth. She feels that a chance to create livelihoods, to inspire and empower women to dream big and build careers, and above all, to save lives, makes her life more meaningful. She also acknowledges that the support of her family and the efforts of her colleagues have played a huge role in her success. We also have with us Ms. Trishanya Raju, Managing Trustee of Dr. Vijay Kumar Datla Foundation. May I request Shanti and Shrikant, trustees of Roshni, to escort Ms. Raju to the dais. Shanti, our senior most volunteer, has been a pillar of support for all Roshni services since its inception, working selflessly to take the work forward. May I please request Ms. Mahima to give a bouquet to Shanti. Ms. Trishanya has a passion for creating a positive and lasting impact in our society as an educator. And through her work with the Datla Foundation, she has proudly supported causes such as mental health, women's welfare, and education. The Datla Foundation was started in 2019 to honor the legacy of Biological E's late chairman, Dr. Vijay Kumar Datla, and his commitment to uplifting all communities in our society. The foundation has worked on initiatives that focus on education, mental health, healthcare, women and child welfare, and more. Our guest of honor this evening is Ms. Samantha Ruth Prabhu. May I request Poonam, founder and trustee of Roshni, to escort Ms. Samantha to the dais. Ms. Samantha, as we all know, is a well-loved film personality who founded her NGO Pratyusha Support in 2014 to give back to society and make a difference in the lives of the underprivileged. Along with Ms. Shilpa Reddy, she started Ekam Early Learning Center to lay a strong foundation with innovations in education. We are proud to have Ms. Shilpa Reddy, our Roshni's brand ambassador, with us here this evening. May I request Ranjana, ex-director of Roshni, to escort Ms. Shilpa to the dais. Ms. Shilpa Reddy has been one of Roshni's strongest supporters over the years. She advocates sustainable living and is an entrepreneur with a spiritual bent of mind. May I please request all on the dais to light the lamp. Thank you.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिः परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्रांश्च मतिं स्वच्छां हि मे सदा रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् यस्य तिष्ठे गृहे दीपः तस्य नास्ति दरिद्रता शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम्
I would like to invite Dr. Sri Lakshmi to the dais to address the gathering on psychiatry at your doorstep. Dr. Sri Lakshmi is a professor of psychiatry and senior consultant psychiatrist at ROSHNI. Dr. Sri Lakshmi? We are giving you another mic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's my proud privilege to bring to you psychiatry at your doorstep. But before I talk about psychiatry at your doorstep, let me tell you the context or the need for starting psychiatry at doorstep. Do you know that India, at least 10% of the Indian population of 1.6 billion suffer from some kind of mental illness in their lifetime, which, if you do the mathematics, comes to around close to 160 million people in our country. Do you know that psychiatrists are just about 3 for 10 lakh population, and the psychologists are even less? So where are all these people going? Are they locked away in their homes? Are they left out on the streets, or are they suffering in silence? Please keep this in mind when we talk about the various barriers which we can easily have overcome, and we are yet to do so. First is a complete lack of awareness of what is mental illness. So easy to go to a gynecologist, so easy to go to a physician, but so difficult to come to a psychiatrist. Why don't we accept that our mental health is equally important as our physical health? Why don't we accept that our mental health also affects our physical well-being? Why don't we accept that mental illnesses are medical illnesses like any other? Just as you would rush to a doctor for your treating your diabetes, so also you should rush to your nearest mental health professional if you're feeling that stress, anxiety, depression, or anything more serious. So there's a complete lack of awareness, and we are a country where most of people with mental illness first land up with people thinking that this faith healers thinking that this is due to black magic. Or if you're depressed, people generally advise you, think positive, think better, you'll automatically get better, as though the depression will simply vanish away by thinking positive. They just got here because they cannot think positive, and we still advise them to think positive. So this dismal lack of awareness about mental health is the first barrier which stands between a person who has mental illness and the care that he truly deserves. The second, of course, is the distance one has to travel. Most of mental health facilities are focused or concentrated in urban areas, whether in the government or in the private sector. So they have to travel huge distances to reach there. Can you imagine a person, a daily wage worker, who has to depend on his daily income to run his family, having to take his child, having mental illness, to a mental health facility, spending money on the transport, spending money on the medication, and losing that day's wages as well? So they might as well not treat the child. So this is another barrier that stands there. And also, and most importantly, standing between a person having mental illness and the facility is stigma. Stigma is nothing but the fear of what society will think. अगर लोगों को पता चल गया कि मेरे बच्चे को बीमारी है तो उसकी शादी नहीं होगी, my child will not get married, my child will not get a job, I will be shamed in society. But please, let's pause and think, this society is you and me. If we understand mental illnesses as medical illnesses, as important as medical illnesses, that our mind is as much a part of our body as the rest of our organs are, and we start talking about mental illnesses as simply as we say about diabetes. For example, if I say, oh, I have diabetes and my blood sugar is 120 today. Similarly, I'll say, I was diagnosed with depression and I went to a psychiatrist today. So till the day we are able to talk and normalize conversations around mental illness, the stigma continues. So overcoming all these barriers is Psychiatry at Your Doorstep, which is a new initiative by ROSHNI. We have a van with a psychiatrist, with a counselor, with medication, reaching right up to the doorstep of the person who needs this help. Now, to understand what is the need, there has been a survey going on by ROSHNI in the various urban slums. I'll also want to bring your attention to the fact that we chose urban slums because mental illnesses, according to surveys, are maximum in urban areas and in people below poverty lines. So the combination of the two is found mostly in these urban slums. So ROSHNI has been doing a survey to understand the ground realities. We have recruited people who will help us spread awareness and tell people what mental illness is all about and which of them come under mental illness, so that they understand their own needs. And then we bring right to their doorstep the medicines, the counseling, the psychiatric advice that they would need, thereby bridging many of these barriers. So when you talk about mental health, we talk about good diet, good sleep, yoga, meditation, all that is good for good mental health. But when it comes to mental illness, initiatives such as Psychiatry at Your Doorstep will go a long way in reducing mental illness in the society. So, but we cannot do it alone. We need all of you, because we need not only support for this initiative, but also we need you to help us reduce the stigma by spreading this message that mental illnesses are nothing to be ashamed of. There is no stigma associated with mental illness. It is equal to a physical illness. So let's normalize conversations around mental illness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sri Lakshmi. That was something that needed to be talked about, needed to be brought out. It's so important that awareness is created, that there is no shame in having any illness, not even a mental illness. So I think it's a wonderful step forward, and thank you for that information. I now invite Ms. Trishanya Raju, Managing Trustee of the Datla Foundation, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. It's a pleasure to be here for the launch of Psychiatry at Your Doorstep, a truly unique initiative for our country and one that we at the Datla Foundation are really proud to support. When we started the foundation in 2019, our goal was to take forward the legacy of my grandfather, Dr. Vijay Kumar Datla. We wanted to use the privilege that we have to make a lasting impact on communities in need. The Datla Foundation is glad to collaborate with ROSHNI Trust for the noble work of helping people who need psychiatric care but do not have access to it. This initiative has become a reality at a very important time. Though our country has always needed more resources and support for the treatment and care of mental health concerns, after our shared experience of the coronavirus pandemic, the urgency of this need has been highlighted. We want to be a part of destigmatizing mental health concerns and bringing awareness and care to those that need it. With the Psychiatry at Your Doorstep initiative, ROSHNI Trust will reach the homes of people who most often do not reach out for help with their mental health concerns, particularly the residents of slums residing in the Twin Cities. These people will receive psychiatric consultation, counseling, and even medication if it's needed. Every patient will be monitored consistently to ensure that they keep making progress. It was only through the dedication and passion of the team at ROSHNI that this incredible initiative was brought to life. I congratulate everyone for their commitment to this cause and on launching this desperately needed initiative, and I'm so glad that we could support you in our small way. I hope that from this day forward, we embark together on a journey that can show the world the difference proper psychiatric care can make in the lives of people. And I look forward to witnessing the impact I am sure it will have on the communities most in need. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Trishanya. It was heartwarming to hear how the Datla Foundation has made a difference to so many lives. And we are indeed grateful to the Datla Foundation for offering to support Psychiatry at Your Doorstep and other ongoing initiatives of ROSHNI. May I now request Ms. Samantha to address the gathering?
Good evening. It's a privilege for me to be here to be part of the launch of Psychiatry at Your Doorstep by ROSHNI Trust. I believe, after everything that I've heard today, that it's time for all of us to make a pledge to educate as many people as we can, to normalize mental illness, to be a part of educating people in understanding the importance of mental health and wellness. I believe in an increasingly stressful world where there is so much focus, whether it is on social media, on portraying perfect lives, it is becoming more difficult to speak about our weaknesses, our pain, our anxiety, because there's so much focus. I have noticed, and being very active on social media myself, I've noticed the stress on portraying perfect lives. And no one's life is perfect, trust me, no one's life is perfect. So I think that it is time, maybe, for people like us, people like me most definitely, to speak more about not just the glitz and glamour, but also the pain, the suffering, the lows, that it is normal for all of us to go through that, and it is normal to talk about it, and it is normal to ask for help. And I have gone through a difficult time in my life, and I have asked for help, and I have sought help from my friends and from counselors, and that has made a huge difference in my life. If I'm sitting here today strong and ready for the next part of my life, it's because not just I was strong, but many people around me helped me be strong. So I think it's time for us to normalize our lows and normalize asking for help. Just like we go to the doctor and ask for and seek help when we have a broken limb. Let's also do that for a broken heart. It's time that we all come together to do this, because I know that doctors can't keep saying, call us. You know, when you are going through a low, it also is time for friends, family to not just say, you know, calm down, it's going to be okay. It's not. It's definitely not. It's time for friends, family to say, if you need help, ask for help, seek out help, because there are people willing to help, and there are counselors, and there are people like Roshni who are doing this, who don't have to do this, but they want to do this. They want to help us. They're doing it for free. A lot of people are spending so much of their time and effort to help, and I think that it's time for all of us to do our bit as well. So congratulations and my heartfelt wishes to the founders of Roshni, and I am truly inspired today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Samantha. You have really touched on such an important aspect, that it's okay to be not okay. We don't all have to be perfect. None of us is perfect. We do not have to put on a mask to show that we are perfect. So it's important. You don't have to cope alone. It's okay to seek help, to reach out. Remember, Roshni is always there for you. And another so very important point, that sometimes we are afraid to trouble our families. We don't want them to be worried. So since we don't seek out, at least we can assure our family members, please remember, I'm there for you. You can talk to me. I'm there for you whenever you need to talk about something. Thank you so much for bringing that out. So important. May I now call upon Ms. Shilpa Reddy to say a few words.
A very good evening to you all. Thank you for coming and masking yourself and, sitting and being a part of this wonderful initiative today. Going down the memory lane, my association as a brand ambassador of Roshni has been so gratifying, memorable, and a meaningful one. I commend the visionary zeal of the trustees and commend the selfless service of each volunteer who went that extra mile during the pandemic to remove the fear, anxiety, and trauma caught in the web of uncertainty. Roshni's idea to enable all mental health services under one roof, an idea born to bring hope and relief to mentally ill, is indeed the need of the future. Actually, it's need of the hour. I'm in deep gratitude to the mental health professionals doing a commendable service, often saving lives. On this momentous occasion, launch of Psychiatry at your doorstep, I take the opportunity to request you all, especially the media, to do your very best in creating awareness, erasing stigma attached to mental health. Tiresome and wearisome may be the journey, uphill the task, but with your support, we can make the journey a meaningful one. It is indeed my privilege to thank Ms. Mahima Datla and her family who is present here today for their gracious presence and their Datla Foundation support to take this initiative and make it a reality and to take it to a greater heights. And thank you to my dear friend Samantha, who really squeezed and took out time between her shoots to accept our invitation. Your presence will definitely have a huge positive impact on the youth, as well as the great fan following that you have. Thank you all. Thank you everyone who's a part of it today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shilpa. We are so fortunate to have you as our brand ambassador. And what you have pointed out today is absolutely the truth. It is so necessary for everyone to remove the stigma and to help create awareness of the importance of seeking help. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for sparing your valuable time to support ROSHNI's new initiative, Psychiatry at Your Doorstep. I would especially like to thank all our donors and supporters, especially Dr. Reddy's Labs, that has wholeheartedly encouraged and supported ROSHNI in all its endeavors in this field. A big thank you to the media channels and news reporters, to the hotel staff, to Sridhar, Shravan and team from Channel Tech, to the photographer, Mr. Sumant, and to David for the creatives. Thank you, one and all. I request you to please join us for dinner. Thank you. Ranjana. May I please ask all the volunteers to come up here near the stage? अभी रख लो, मेरे को चाहिए थोड़ा। Can we have all the volunteers here on stage, please, for the photograph? Roshni volunteers. Could we please have all the consultants from the ROSHNI Counseling Center here on stage? Thank you. Please come up. Please come. Gayatri, Geeta, Sucharita.